How is it going, Giants fans? Coming off a huge win against the Tennessee Titans. Oh my God, my heart is still racing. I started out drinking beer, went to liquor, stopped. I'm clean now, 40 days sober. I feel great. The Giants just won probably the most improbable game at halftime. I felt like we were down 40-0. They fought back. Saquon Barkley, man, he looks like his old self. He had a tremendous game. He's making me rethink everything I've ever thought or said about re-signing running backs. After that game, he was the Giants offense. He carried them. He was fighting tooth and nail. Brian Dable put together a halftime speech that probably will go down in the Guinness World Record book. A Nobel Peace Prize should be given to this man for whatever he said at a halftime to these cats. I don't know what it was, but it reinvigorated this team. It got them back up, and it got them fighting again. And man, the defense came up big at times without Kayvon Thibodeau, without Azeez Ojulari, two of our best players right now. Offensive line was completely destroyed for most of the day. Saquon did not care. He went crazy anyway. Daniel Jones made a couple of bad decisions. We're going to discuss all of it. And then, of course, the Giants, I feel like a curse was just lifted, dude. I feel like a curse lifted off of my shoulders. It feels like 3 years, even 5, 6 years of just ass, like absolute terrible performances, absolutely just being crushed. Those game-winning field goals, I feel like we've always been destroyed. Last year against Washington, Dexter Lawrence jumping offside, like it haunts me to this day. It feels like it all just dissipated in that one kick by big boy Randy Bullock missing. I love Randy, one of my new favorite players in the league. I feel just ecstatic about what just happened. Give me your reaction, because I can't. I'm speechless.
My reaction is that I kind of lost my voice screaming and cheering over the ending of that game. Dude, I was so defeated. It was a real roller coaster of emotions. After the big balls Brian making the decision to go for 2 there, the Giants convert, they take the lead. And then, of course, the Titans march down there. A lot of bad penalties, really sloppy final defensive possession by the Giants defense, but missed field goal. I'm over the moon right now. I was jumping up and down. I was screaming and cheering. I can't believe that the Giants actually walked away from this game with a win. That was an unbelievable victory. I mean, just to see that kick go wide to left was so exciting. But again, I got to hit on it. That 2-point conversion decision was unbelievable. When was the last time that the Giants had a coach willing to make that decision? It's been a long time since we've had a coach that has the balls, the guts to make such a bold decision late in the game and go for the win with a 2-point conversion like that. That was incredible. I am instantly hooked. I am a Brian Dable truther. I am a stan for Brian Dable. That was amazing, bro. Like, that really just that brought me back. I'm like, oh my God, the Giants. This is Giants football, man. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. I mean, think about it. This time last year, we had a head coach who would kneel on 3rd and long. Right? He would take a knee on 3rd and long. Now we got a coach who says, okay, we're down by 1. We could tie it, but fuck that. Let's win this thing. Let's go Giants, baby.
I don't even know how Brian Dable just pulled that off. Straight up, he had some moxie. He had some balls the size of a freaking bowling balls, bro. He put together what was the most ballsy 2-point conversion I think I've ever seen in my life. He literally was like, hold my beer, Tennessee, fuck off. Like, literally, I can't even begin to I don't even know how they pulled it off. Saquon Barkley, just pure willpower, pure effort to get through there. Face mask being pulled. He wanted it so bad. I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a man possessed like that. He was demonic. We just watched the next Paranormal Activity on live television. This is like absolutely unbelievable. And the stats make no sense. You know, you look at the stats. DJ finishes the game with 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception, that 1 interception in the red zone, of course. Picked off by Amadi and, stared down Saquon Barkley, but to no avail. The receiving game was interesting. Sterling Shepard finishes the game with the most yards, 71 yards. He had 2 receptions, a touchdown on a 65-yard touchdown catch. Richie James, hell of a day, 5 receptions, 59 yards. Kenny Golladay didn't really get involved, 2 receptions, 22 yards, but Wan'Dale got knocked out early with a knee injury. We'll keep you guys updated on that as we figure out more on that end. But, Kadarius Toney, it didn't do much either. 2 carries actually for 23 yards. He only was really on the field for a couple of snaps. When he was on the field, he made an impact. Maybe he's still dealing with injury. Maybe something's going on with him. Maybe he fell out of favor with the coaching staff. I don't know what it was. But he definitely, did not make a really significant impact today. We'll see what happens in the near future here. But how important is this game for Saquon, dude? Like, this game for Saquon, this is the best I've seen him since 2018. It's not even close. He might, honestly, this might be a hot take. He actually might have looked better than when he was in 2018. He looks thinner. He looks more invigorated. He was trusting his legs. I mean, everything about him just looked better. He looked shiftier, quicker. Mentally, he looked tough. He was grinding out yards, something that we haven't seen from him at times in the past. This might have been the best game I've ever seen from Saquon Barkley, straight up. I mean, he was running all over this team. He was the Saquon that we needed to see. If he does this a full season, I don't know how you can go. I straight up, like, he was the offense today. I don't know how you let him go, even though I know you're not in the boat of paying running backs. I know I've definitely shifted over to that side, but Saquon, man, there are players that you just break that rule for. And Saquon, if he can stay healthy, maybe he does that. Maybe Dave Gettleman was the curse. They just need to get rid of him for everyone to succeed here. But, what are your thoughts on Saquon and really just exploding onto the scene today and what this means for the rest of the season for him?
I'm sure we're operating with a ton of recency bias right now, but yes, I think this might be the best performance of Saquon Barkley's career. This is the fastest I've ever seen him run. When he ripped that 68-yard rush down the left sideline, that I don't think he's ever looked faster than he did on that play. I thought that he was going to get caught from behind by a couple of guys, or they had the angle on him, and somehow he just kept outrunning everybody. Finally, he gets managed out of bounds, gets the touchdown just a few plays later. But dude, what a performance from Saquon. And I will say, yes, I think this is the best version of Saquon we've seen because he was very patient today. This was the most patient that I've ever seen Saquon Barkley run the football. He was waiting for the creases, waiting for the gaps, waiting for his blocks to get there. And finally, for the first time in his career, his blocks were getting there. The offensive line was doing work in the running game. There were many times where, yes, he had to make the plays on his own. Of course, that's Saquon. He's going to do that. He has to make the plays on his own, fight for the yardage. But there were a lot of plays where he had a sizable rushing lane, or at least just enough of a crease where Saquon Barkley's talented enough to get through it. In the past, though, we've seen Saquon Barkley miss some of those small creases. Now he's got some really improved vision, and he's finding those creases. He's falling forward for the extra yardage. He's fighting hard. He's powerful. He's just as quick as he's ever been, and he's faster than he's ever been. Saquon Barkley, man, he's back. He's fully healthy. It is so much fun to watch. I think that the Giants did a phenomenal job getting him involved in the game plan and letting him really just turn loose and go crazy. And they need to do more of that. I need Saquon Barkley to stay healthy this year. We need him to stay healthy for the rest of the season, because if he can build on this performance and give us more games like this Giants offense can be really, really dangerous, especially the way that Mike Kafka is calling these plays. I'll even say this. I got to throw this out there. Saquon Barkley was playing so well that it made life really easy for Daniel Jones at times. There was that late game 4th and 1. Everybody knew the ball was going to Saquon. Psych, play action, and then quarterback keeper, Daniel Jones gets the first down. That was because of how great Saquon Barkley was playing, though, that Daniel Jones was able to get that easy first down. What a great performance from Saquon Barkley. What an awesome performance from Mike Kafka and Brian Dable. I thought the offensive scheme was incredible. Some of these play calls, I mean, it's been so long since we've seen the Giants have an offense that can put together a game like this. In the first half, I was scared. I was like, oh, God, nothing's changed. Second half, though, it really was a tale of two halves. Mike Kafka came out there. Brian Dable came out there. They said, screw this. We're going deep in our bag of tricks. And they really did put together a super impressive second half offensive game plan. And, dude, what a game from Saquon Barkley and the rest of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, Brian Dable and Mike Kafka know how to win games, straight up. They know how to win football games. Buffalo, you look at Wink Martindale on the defensive side with the Ravens. We'll discuss, we're going to do some little bit of analysis right after this, because there are some things I do want to talk about on the defensive side that did stand out that concerned me. But I do want to still harp on the positives right now. Kafka, Brian Dable, Wink Martindale, these guys know how to win football games. Talking about the Ravens, talking about the Chiefs, talking about the Bills. They know what it takes. The first half looked like the Giants were adjusting to the pace and the toughness of an NFL schedule, right? An NFL team, a top one at that. The Titans are no joke. They were a playoff team last year. We just beat them in their home in the fourth quarter. Beat them in their home in the fourth quarter. I know you guys understand it, because we're all here going absolutely nuts right now. What we just experienced was nothing short of just willpower. Straight up, we wanted it more than them in their own home. Okay? That's not easy to do. Whatever Brian Dable said, whatever Mike Kafka said, the play calling in the second half was tremendous. And you know what? In the past with Joe Judge, we've seen them stop going to guys who were looking good. We've seen them player was looking really good. Feed the hot hand. The Giants did that with Saquon Barkley today. They found ways to say, you know what? We want Saquon Barkley to have the ball in his hand. Let's find unique play calls to get them active. By the way, that touchdown to Jake Myrick, that was tremendous. That looked like a Kansas City play. That looked like a Kansas City Chiefs play. I thought that was going to the left side the entire time. I thought that was going to the flats. And then DJ turns it around, hits the open Myrick for an easy score. What we saw today was a modern scheme in the second half, specifically when the team started to execute a little bit better. The tight ends didn't really get involved except for that touchdown, right? The receivers didn't really get involved except for that for Sterling Shepard's touchdown. It was Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones had a solid day in some respects. He had a couple of big mistakes. He had that fumble that wasn't really his fault. The offensive line was really spotty. Left guard specifically was very bad. Josh Azudu looked very, very spotty. Jeffrey Simmons destroyed Mark Lewinsky, destroyed Evan Neal, 2 sacks and 2 tackles for a loss today. This was a game littered with negatives for the Giants, but they still managed to win. And that's what good teams do, by the way. Good teams find ways to win despite shooting themselves in the foot, despite having weaknesses, despite having downfalls. And Brian Daboll found a way to get his team into a position to actually win this game. And he had some balls. He had some cojones. He had the absolute audacity to go for a 2-point conversion when he absolutely should not have gone for that. Everything would say, do not do that. He said, no, I don't care about the analytics. I'm winning this football game. I'm showing the Giants fan base that I'm staying for the long term, that we're building a fucking dynasty. That's what I have to say about that. But I know you like that energy, Anthony. I know you like that energy.
That just got me inspired. You just inspired me, Alex. Let's fucking go, dude. That was awesome.
That'll be clipped and posted on Twitter for sure. But I will tell you this right now. I do want to discuss some analysis of this game quickly on the defensive side specifically. The linebackers. Holy hell. We have a problem at linebacker, my friends.
Yeah.
Dontrell Hilliard had 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Tate Crowder, Austin Calitro were basically on their own island in the Bahamas. I don't know what they were doing. Tate Crowder looked lost in coverage. That he did not play well in the coverage game. He looked decent in run stopping. He had a big hit on Derrick Henry. That was awesome. Calitro, it should not be starting for an NFL team, right? You have Micah McFadden. He's a rookie. Darian Beavers probably would be starting if these guys, if he was healthy right now. But what are your thoughts on that? Darnay Holmes, really, really tough down the stretch, had a couple of really bad holding calls. He gave them the opportunity to have that game-winning kick. Obviously, they missed it, but he did not look great. Aaron Robinson quietly had a very good game. I was very impressed by Aaron Robinson. He did well on an island. He was very good in man coverage. He almost had an interception toward the end there in the fourth quarter. Very impressed by him. Adoree Jackson, another guy, stood out. Pretty solid game from him as well. I didn't really see much of Leonard Williams, but we'll take a look at the tape this week and see what we can find in terms of his impact. I know DJ Davidson, rookie out of Auburn, had a pretty solid, or Arizona had a pretty solid day. But what are your thoughts on this linebacker core? Definitely some things to pick apart here.
Yeah, there's definitely some things to pick apart. I don't want to harp too much on it because I want to stay positive, stay happy, ride this high. I mean, it's been years since the Giants have been 1-0. Like, when was the last time that the Giants you might know the stat. I don't know the stat, but I know it's probably been like 5 years since the Giants started off their season with a win. It's been a long, long time, and it's been a long time coming. It's 6 years. Wow. Whew. That's insane. This is like kind of a historic day for the New York Giants. But yes, let's do a little analysis. Let's kind of be, a little critical here of the New York Giants linebacker core because let's be honest, it's bad. It's really bad. They were lost in coverage all day, whether you're talking man or zone. There were Titans running backs and tight ends that were just running wide open all over the place. And there was crossing routes that the linebackers just couldn't pick up. It was a little bit of a mess out there. Darnay Holmes, real struggle towards the end of the game. I really thought that it was going to be a blown game by the Giants there because of the defense, man. The holding penalties, the poor coverage on the back end. It was a real struggle there on that final drive, but bend don't break. They kept them, in a decent field goal percentage range, 47. That's not a make or break. I mean, that's not a chip shot by any means, 47 yards. So the Giants defense did well enough to keep them out of a sizable, easy field goal range. So you got to give them credit where it's due. However, that drive should have ended a lot sooner. They had them at a 3rd and 4. It really just should have been a couple more plays, but all those holding penalties. One thing that I will say, though, O'Shane Ximines, he came to play, a couple batted balls down the stretch, really impressive stuff right there. You're seeing kind of these edge rushers and linebackers on the front end and these defensive linemen picking up the slack where the linebackers and defensive backs in coverage are kind of faltering, right? Because they're getting their hands up. Great coaching point from Wink Martindale. It's got to be something that they've been working on because I swear I saw so many Giants players batting the ball down at the line of scrimmage. It was kind of incredible. So, just some late game heroics from O'Shane Ximines there. I want to give him credit, but when you're taking a look at this linebacker group, man, they did a great job in the running game. The Giants shut down Derrick Henry. He had 21 carries, 83 yards. Like, that is a phenomenal performance from Wink Martindale's defense. But we knew that. Wink Martindale is a great run defensive coordinator, right? He's great at that. So, but when you're taking a look at everything that the Giants were doing in coverage, there is a clear lack of talent in the secondary. There is a clear lack of pass coverage talent from the linebackers. This is a position, linebacker, that I think the Giants are going to want to address on the waiver wire in the coming weeks. They're going to want to find someone who can step in there and actually play some coverage from that linebacker position. Either that or they're going to want to go out there and find another safety who can play in the box and play that position. Because right now, what the Giants have there at the linebacker position, great win today, but that's not sustainable. You cannot go into a game and expect your linebackers to play that way in coverage and come away with a win every week. So that's something that I think the Giants are going to have to address. Either that or they might have to tweak the scheme just a little bit. But another thing that I'll say, the Giants pass rush was not doing much today. They didn't generate a whole lot, but just keep in mind, this was the Giants getting a win and starting the season off like this, shaky defense and all, but they've got two great edge rushers coming back into the fold within the next couple of weeks. So I'm super excited to see Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari get out there on the field. That really might mask a lot of these deficiencies that we're talking about from the linebackers and the defensive backs. So I can't wait for Kayvon Thibodeau to get out there and make his debut. I'm hoping that it's next week in the home opener, dude. I can't wait to see KT and Azeez Ojulari go after these tackles.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at even a different game. The Giants might have won this game a drive before if they have Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari in this game. You know, you're looking at Jaheed Ward, you're looking at Ocean Exam, who actually played decent enough to help this team. So shout out to them for stepping up. But if Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari are in this game, Tannehill doesn't have 10 seconds back there to throw the football. They were batting passes down, yes, but that's because he was standing back there for so long, and they were just jumping at the right time, which deserves some credit for the record. But better pass rush. This was a good team, guys. We just beat a very, very solid playoff contending team in their home. What does this tell you? The Giants can beat good teams. They can beat playoff teams. What does this mean? I don't even want to go this far, but it means the Giants are capable of making the postseason. If you can beat a playoff team, it means you're capable of making the postseason. I'm not going to say that they will, because that's obviously premature.
Might be a little premature. Might be getting ahead of yourselves, but I agree with the sentiment. I told you, I think that I said in the pregame live stream that the Giants were going to be competitive in this game. I didn't think they were going to get blown out. I thought I was going to have to eat my words after the first half, but I said, man, I think that there is going to be some great coaching from this class. Like, this coaching staff is super impressive. I think they proved that today. And when you have good coaching, you can go toe-to-toe with any single opponent, whether it be the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. You know, you'll beat the players, the teams that you're supposed to beat, and you'll play up to the competition when you have good coaching. And I finally feel like the Giants do have good coaching, so they can compete with all these teams. And when you're able to compete with all those teams, yes, Alex, I agree. You always have the chance to win some of these tough games down the stretch and maybe push your way into the playoffs. Not saying the Giants are making the playoffs. That is super premature. It's only week one. But I got to say, after this coaching performance from Brian Daboll, big balls, Brian, that was unbelievable. I really do believe that the Giants can be competitive in every single game this year and maybe, just maybe, fight their way into a wild card spot down the stretch.
Well, we can hope, my friends. We can absolutely hope. But I hope you guys enjoyed this post-game recap. Definitely some energy, definitely some excitement. We are hyped. The Giants back in. Yo, Tibosaurus Rex, alive another day, baby. Alive
He's
another
alive
day.
for
He's our
another
good luck
week.
charm.
I think he might be it. He might be the good luck charm, guys. He might be.
Oh my goodness, we got a good luck charm. Wow. I give all the credit to Tibosaurus Rex, not Saquon, but Tibosaurus Rex. Absolutely. He kind of looks like he's a good luck. So, Dan, I'm over the moon right now. We're gonna sleep well tonight, Giants fans. Couldn't be happier to be sharing this excitement and appreciation with all of you guys. So much love for tuning in as always. This is going to be a fun season. Obviously, we have a lot to look forward to. We have a lot of positivity to harp on, which, you know, is my MO. I love to be positive. It's been a quite objective couple of past months. Getting ready for this season, but this team showed fight. They showed resiliency, and honestly, just being competitive. Even if we lost this game, I would have been happy because we showed competition. We showed that we're not backing down from anybody, and the fact that we won is even better. So let's get it done. Let's keep it going. Let's get the excitement on. Let's enjoy this win. But we got another week to look forward to next, and we got some tough games ahead. So this is a good way to start the season. We're excited. And we'll keep updating you guys as the week progresses here on some injury news and whatnot. But hope you guys enjoy this win, enjoy the video. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.